Welcome!
Hi, I'm Tricia Grey, founder of Sing Like a Star Studios. I, along with the SLAS associate teachers and coaches, would like to welcome you. But first, let's take a look at some Sing Like a Star success stories from the past. About Sing Like a Star founder Tricia Grey, MM. That's me. I have over 40 years of professional singing, teaching, and research. I started my music career as a professional singer in Los Angeles. I sang in original bands, cover bands, rock bands, jazz bands, R&B bands, in recording studios, and on tours. I wrote songs, recorded songs, and sang. While I was singing 5 to 6 nights a week, I also taught voice lessons during the day, 6 days a week. My background in speech-level singing and mixed teaching. While earning bachelor's and master's degrees in vocal performance, I studied with and taught for SLS speech-level singing originator Seth Riggs in Los Angeles beginning at age 20. And Seth was basically the teacher to the stars. Everybody went to Seth. From Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Barbra Streisand, Natalie Cole, everybody. I achieved the highest level of SLS certification, which was level 5. I even wrote the SLS Teachers Training Manual, which was used to train SLS teachers around the world. And I'm currently on the board of the IVTOM International Voice Teachers of Mix organization. Along the way, I became determined as a teacher to find an approach based on truth rather than opinion. For many years, I've been on a quest for science-based information about the function of the singing voice. That journey resulted in the vitally important information that you will be learning here. I combined my years of professional performing experience and training to develop a vocal method that embraces the requirements of contemporary music by building the edge, power, and pop timbre needed by contemporary singers, while encouraging and maintaining vocal health. I moved to Atlanta in 2001 and opened Sing Like a Star Studios. By 2013, I was teaching 7 days a week, so I decided to hire and train SLAS associate teachers to teach the SLAS method, which has its roots in speech-level singing, but also includes elements I felt were missing, such as advanced musical skills, vibrato, style, and the vocal power required for rock singing. In 2013, I also began writing the book, You Can Sing Like a Star, a self-study method for singers, and a teacher training manual, You Can Be a Successful Voice Teacher. I began the process of recording hundreds of MP3 instrumental accompaniment tracks with male and female vocal demos. In 2018, this huge project was finally completed. When I began hiring and training associate teachers at Sing Like a Star Studios, I realized the immense challenges of getting them up to speed on skills such as piano ability, diagnostic ability, knowledge of tools that solve vocal challenges presented by the student, the ability to teach many different challenging vocal styles, including riffs and runs. The second goal, I wanted to free teachers from being tied to the piano, and I wanted to make the exercises fun for the student. I wanted fun and inspiring music on recorded tracks that would allow the teacher to be more mobile, active, and focused on the student, instead of being tied to the piano. Third goal, I wanted to make sure that skills are taught in the correct order. I call that sequential skill building. To that end, exercises are presented in round 1, beginning, round 2, intermediate, and round 3, advanced levels. My fourth goal was to educate singers and teachers about how the voice works. I wanted them to be up to date on the most current voice science information. I wanted to quickly give all teachers a method that only a master teacher would possess. I wanted to give the student who's interested in self-study a logical and sequential method of skill building. I wanted to provide contemporary singers with a self-training method that is based on the music they want to sing, rather than a teacher's favorite style. Exciting and inspiring instrumental tracks have been created for each exercise to make practicing enjoyable. I wanted to provide an objective-based approach where goals are specific and measurable, rather than the warm-up, sing your song, and go home unchanged method of most voice teaching. I wanted to gather and disseminate information on the science of vocal production and the exciting new discoveries in vocal science that have recently become available. About the manual. Each chapter is divided into 5 sections. The first is the How Your Voice Works section. How Your Voice Works describes the anatomy, physiology, and science of the voice. Understanding the science of the singing voice gives us more tools and makes us more effective as teachers. Here's just one of the many hundreds of images and graphics in the book. Each How Your Voice Works chapter contains an easy-to-understand voice science lesson with fun and funky graphics. The second section is Tools for Training Voices. The Tools for Training Voices section outlines the methods by which we obtain the objective of each step. The tools include vowels, consonants, scales, temporary sounds, and many more. The third section is called Test Your Knowledge. Test Your Knowledge is a review section that helps you remember what you learned, followed by an online test. You can also use this section to preview what you should focus on in each chapter, because there's a lot of information in the chapters. The fourth section is called Teaching the Step. Teaching the Step includes the objectives of each step, the order of exercises, the logic behind each exercise, and even suggested communication to the student, along with teaching tips. The fifth section is recorded exercises for males, females, and children, set in the appropriate keys, and demonstrated by male and female singers. The exercises are demonstrated using the most effective syllable first. You always want to use this option first. But there's a second alternate version of the exercise with no vocal demonstration and other syllable options given. This is for the more advanced rounds. You will demonstrate this option yourself. Use these exercises in order only after the student can skillfully sing the first option. Exercises are presented in Round 1, Beginning, Round 2, Intermediate, and Round 3, Advanced order for sequential skill building. An overview of the 8 steps of vocal development. You can see that success is at the end of the 8 steps. And at the top, the goal is singing songs. A foundation of good technique makes singing songs easy. The 8 steps of vocal development is based on the spiral learning concept. SLAS spiral learning is Round 1, the beginning round, discovery, experiencing a new way of doing something. Round 2, the intermediate round, development. This is focused repetition with sequential skill building. Round 3, the advanced round. Automatic habits are created, partially due to myelin, which is formed during the development phase. The 8 steps of vocal development is a sequential skill building program. In Step 0, Assessment and Diagnosis, we determine the student's vocal category as compared to the optimal balanced singer. In Step 1, Breath Management, we lay the foundation of good singing with breath management, appoggio, posture, and stretching techniques. In Step 2, Activate and Develop the Lower Register, TA dominant phonation, we focus on the area of notes below the primo passaggio or first bridge, dominated by the TA or thyroarytenoid muscles. The objective is to sing clearly with a modicum of projection, rather than timidly, breathily, and weakly. In Step 3, Activate and Develop the Upper Register, or CT dominant phonation, we focus on the area above the primo passaggio or first bridge. This is dominated by the CT or cricothyroid muscles. The objective is to sing clearly and with a modicum of projection rather than timidly, breathily, and weakly. In step 4, isolators, further development of lower TA dominant and upper CT dominant registers separately, we firmly establish and further develop the TA dominant lower register and the CT dominant upper register in isolation. To develop a balanced voice, there must first be isolated development of the lower and upper registers. In other words, to produce a good mix, we have to give the students something to mix. The objective of step 4 is to develop equality of strength and tone in both lower and upper registers. In step 5, register connection with temporary sounds, we connect the lower and upper registers, and the student begins to mix. In this step, we make a distinction between the pulled lower category singers and the light lower and undeveloped category singers. Exercises and keys are specific to each category. The objective is to develop a better balance between the registers, to develop the mix, and to develop the ability to transition smoothly through the primo passaggio or first bridge. In step 6, the balanced onset, we address the manner in which phonation is initiated. The objective is to develop a balanced onset, neither the aspirate onset used to counteract hyperadduction, nor the coup de glotte used to counteract hypoadduction. We begin with staccato exercises, then gradually eliminate the helpers such as the coup de glotte and voice stop consonants. In step 7, advanced skills, the objective is the development of advanced musical skills such as dynamics, including messa di voce, flexibility, advanced vibrato, singing in stepwise motion, increasing power, and singing songs. In step 8, style, we have fun learning basic to advanced contemporary riffs and runs, and we apply those basic riffs and runs to a Christmas classic, O Holy Night. Then we delve into the pentatonic and blues scales and learn some fun riffs and runs based on those scales. We also learn how to add texture and stylistic devices to authentically sing in any style, including musical theater, country, rock, R&B, pop, jazz, and other genres. Teachers can choose to include Step 8 exercises at any point in their students' development, since most students would like to be able to riff and run right away. The first 5 steps are divided into Round 1, Beginning, Round 2, Intermediate, and Round 3, Advanced exercises for sequential skill development. Beginning with Step 6, we eliminate the rounds and develop skills. Onset in Step 6, and advanced musical skills in Step 7, and style in Step 8. Rather than the typical voice lesson that consists of an ineffective warm-up and then singing the song a few times with no specific goals for improvement, this instruction is based on specific lesson plans for vocal development with the objective of sequential skill building. New exercises are added weekly. In lessons, we work on technique and on songs with specific strategies to develop balanced registration and mix. As skills improve, we begin to include style, riffs, and runs. Caveat: don't wait until the student is perfect on any given step before introducing higher steps. Even beginning students should have an essential exposure to steps 6 to 8 as soon as possible. Try using the fun staccato exercises in step 6, the beginning dynamics exercises in step 7, and the basic riffs and runs section in step 8. These exercises are fun for students at any level. Many students indicate that they want to learn to riff and run right away. What the 8 steps of vocal development is not. It's not a warm-up. It's vocal development based on acquiring specific skills. This program is not for singers who will not practice exercises. To change current habits, singers must practice specific exercises with focused attention, with an objective or goal in mind. Singing songs is not practicing and is not effective for vocal development. Warming up is not vocalizing with a specific goal in mind and will contribute little toward vocal development. Singing specific exercises in specific order with focused attention is required for change to occur. This is not necessarily a program for classical or operatic singers. Classical and operatic singers bridge lower than pop singers do. It's specifically for the contemporary singer of rock, R&B, country, jazz, gospel, pop, and musical theater. Our philosophy is balance. The 8 steps of vocal development method is based on the ideal of balance: balanced registration, balance of TA and CT muscle interaction, balance of breath pressure and vocal fold adduction, and balance of bright and dark resonance. We call that chiaroscuro. We also believe in a balance of hard work, technique and vocal development, and fun, singing songs, learning to riff and run, and performing in our showcases. We use the tools of vowels, consonants, temporary sounds, and scales to create exercises that address the student's current vocal habits and create new and healthier habits. These exercises must be practiced daily for best results. The 8-week SLAS Teacher Training Course. The 8-week SLAS Teacher Training Course is a boot camp training that will prepare teachers to effectively teach the 8 steps. This training can be done in person or virtually. The training does not have to be completed in 8 weeks. You can work at your own pace.